Here's the reality. When emotions run deep, you'll tolerate behaviors that would normally be unacceptable. You convince yourself they're minor. You brush them off as nothing serious. But deep down, you know they're signals of disrespect. And the more you ignore them, the more control she gains until you're no longer the man you once were. But it doesn't have to reach that point. The truth is clear. Certain behaviors aren't quirks, they're warnings. In this video, I'm going to expose 10 red flags that should make you walk away immediately before the damage becomes permanent. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. And while you're here, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. I want to see how far this truth spreads, because men everywhere face the same battles when it comes to relationships. Now let's get started, because the first red flag might seem playful on the surface, but in reality, it's the spark that ignites betrayal. Number 1. Flirts with other men. When a woman is with you, her actions should make it clear where her loyalty and attention belong. If you notice that she still flirts with other men while being with you, that's not harmless fun. That's a red flag waving in your face. Pay attention to how she acts around other men. Does her tone of voice change when she speaks to them? Does she smile differently, lean in closer, or playfully touch her hair while she's in their presence? Those are not accidental behaviors. Those are signals of attraction, and if she's giving that energy away to strangers or just friends, she's already telling you what you mean to her, without saying a word. Flirting is not always about words. Sometimes it's in the body language, the attention, the way she makes herself available to other men's validation. When you're supposed to be her man, and she still entertains the attention of others, it's a sign she's keeping her options open. A woman who values you, who respects you, does not go looking for outside approval. She doesn't need to, because she's invested in you. But a woman who constantly needs to feel desired by every man in the room is revealing her insecurity and her lack of true commitment. You'll notice this most in social settings. Watch her at parties, in clubs, even in casual gatherings. If her eyes are always scanning for who's looking at her, if she thrives off the attention of other men, she's not present with you. And here's the hard truth. If she seeks validation everywhere else, she will eventually take things further than just a smile or playful joke. Flirting is the opening act to betrayal, and if she's willing to do it right in front of you, imagine what happens when you're not around. Number 2. Hides her phone. A woman's relationship with her phone reveals more than she realizes. If she treats her phone like it contains national secrets every time you're around, that's not privacy, it's secrecy. Pay attention to how she handles it. Does she flip it over the moment you walk into the room? Does she take it with her everywhere, even to the bathroom, like it's her lifeline? Does she get nervous or irritated if you accidentally glance at the screen? Those aren't the actions of someone with nothing to hide. That's the behavior of someone who's guarding a double life. You'll notice small patterns if you stay observant. The sudden silencing of notifications when you're nearby. The phone being face down at dinner but always in her hand when she's with her friends. The quick, almost panicked swipes to close apps when you come close. These things are not coincidences. They're signals. Because a woman who's all in with you has no reason to act like her phone is a locked vault. She doesn't worry about you catching a glimpse of her messages because there's nothing to catch. The phone has become the modern diary. It holds her conversations, her connections, and her secrets. If she guards it like a weapon, it's because what's inside could wound the relationship if exposed. Respecting boundaries is one thing, but don't confuse secrecy for independence. A woman who constantly hides her phone is protecting something, and whatever she's hiding, it's not going to work in your favor. The truth is written in how she shields that device every time your presence enters the room. Number 3. Avoids defining the relationship. When a woman is truly invested in you, clarity won't scare her. But when she avoids defining the relationship, that hesitation speaks volumes. Pay attention to how she reacts when the topic of commitment surfaces. Does she change the subject, laugh it off, or say things like, "Let's not put labels on it"? That's not her being free-spirited. That's her keeping the door open for other options. A woman who genuinely wants to build with you won't fear labeling the bond. She'll welcome it because it aligns with her intentions. This avoidance usually shows up after you've spent significant time together. You've gone on dates, shared experiences, and maybe even developed intimacy. Yet every time you try to understand where the two of you stand, she creates distance. She'll say she just wants to see where things go, or she's not ready for something serious right now. Those phrases sound harmless, but they're shields. They allow her to enjoy your attention and effort without giving you the respect of clarity. A woman who refuses to define the relationship is usually protecting her ability to explore other connections behind the scenes. She may like you, but she doesn't want to be tied down. She wants the benefits of your presence without the responsibility of exclusivity. And here's where most men get trapped. They mistake time spent with her as proof of her intentions. But time means nothing if she's not willing to commit. Her refusal to define things is her way of keeping you as a convenient option while she searches for what she really wants. Number 4. Lack of genuine care. You can measure the depth of a woman's feelings not by the words she says, but by the actions she takes when you need her most. A lack of genuine care is one of the most revealing red flags, because love without care is nothing but empty performance. Pay close attention to the little things. When you're tired, does she notice and show concern, or does she brush it off because it doesn't benefit her? When you succeed, does she celebrate you with pride, or does she act indifferent because the spotlight isn't on her? Genuine care is not selective. It shows itself in both your struggles and your victories. A woman who lacks care will always make excuses for why she couldn't be there when it mattered. She'll claim she was busy, distracted, or tired, but the truth is, people make time for what they value. If she only shows up when it's convenient for her, she's not invested in you. She's invested in what she can gain from you. And the dangerous part is that this lack of care often hides behind charm or temporary sweetness. But eventually, the pattern reveals itself. You'll notice it most during moments of vulnerability. When life throws challenges at you, a woman who cares will stand beside you, even if she can't fix the problem. Her presence will be her statement. But when she lacks genuine care, she'll distance herself, minimize your feelings, or even make the situation about her. And that's when you realize she's not truly connected to you. Because love without care is nothing but a performance meant to keep you believing in something that doesn't really exist. Number 5. Breaks promises easily. A woman's word is a window into her character. If she makes promises but breaks them without hesitation, she's showing you how much, or how little, her commitment means. Promises are not just about grand gestures. They're about the small agreements that build trust day by day. If she says she'll call you back and never does, if she agrees to meet you at a certain time but constantly shows up late with flimsy excuses, or if she swears she'll be there for something important but disappears when it counts, those patterns reveal her priorities more clearly than anything she claims with her mouth. Breaking promises repeatedly is not a mistake. It's a habit, and habits tell you what someone is really made of. A woman who values her own word will treat it with respect. She'll know that once she gives it, she's bound by it, because reliability is the foundation of trust. But when she treats promises like temporary conveniences, it shows you that her commitment isn't rooted in respect for you. It's rooted in what serves her in the moment. At first, you might overlook it. You might think she just forgot or had a bad day. But when the pattern continues, when her promises are made lightly and broken just as easily, understand that this is who she is. Words are cheap when they're not backed by action. And a woman who can't honor her own word will never truly honor the relationship, because consistency is the real test of loyalty, not temporary feelings or empty reassurances. Number 6. Low priority in her life. A woman's actions will always reveal where you stand in her hierarchy of importance. If you constantly find yourself waiting for her time, her attention, or her effort, then you're not her priority. You're her convenience. Watch how she organizes her life. If she always has time for her friends, her hobbies, or even meaningless distractions on social media, but somehow struggles to make room for you, the message is loud and clear. People invest in what they value. If she values you, you'll see it in the way she carves out space for you, no matter how busy her schedule might be. Being low priority doesn't always mean open disrespect. It often hides behind excuses. She'll tell you she's tired, she's busy, she's stressed, or she just forgot. But the truth is simple. When someone truly cares, they find ways, not excuses. If she only reaches out when she's bored, lonely, or needs something from you, then your role in her life is not that of a partner, but a placeholder. You're filling the gaps until something she values more comes along. You'll notice it in the little details. She cancels plans with you at the last minute but keeps commitments with others. She gives her best energy to everyone else, while you're left with what's left over. She makes you feel like you're competing for her time, instead of being included in her life naturally. And if you find yourself constantly fighting for a place in her world, it's because she's already decided where you rank, and it isn't at the top. Number 7. Double standards. One of the clearest signs of imbalance in a relationship is when double standards begin to surface. Pay attention to the rules she sets for you compared to the rules she applies to herself. If she expects complete transparency from you but guards her own privacy like a treasure chest, that's not equality, that's control. If she gets angry when you talk to female colleagues or friends but freely entertains attention from other men, that's not respect, it's manipulation. A relationship should operate on fairness, but when double standards exist, it becomes a power game, not a partnership. The danger of double standards is that they slowly erode your confidence and self-respect. Over time, you begin to question yourself, thinking maybe you're overreacting, maybe her demands are justified. That's how manipulation works. It conditions you to accept inequality as normal. And once you accept it, you stop challenging behaviors that disrespect you. But the reality is simple. A woman who loves you will not hold you to rules she has no intention of living by herself. Look at how she reacts when situations are reversed. If she feels entitled to freedoms she denies you, then she's not looking for a relationship. She's looking for control. And the deeper truth is that double standards often expose her true priorities. She's not afraid of you doing something wrong. She's afraid of losing her advantage. When she holds you to one standard and herself to another, she's showing you that fairness and respect are not part of her vision for the relationship. Number 8. Disrespectful speech. The way a woman speaks to you is one of the most accurate reflections of how she sees you. Disrespect rarely starts big. It begins with small jabs, sarcastic comments, or subtle digs at your character. Pay attention to her tone, the words she chooses, and the intent behind them. If she constantly mocks you, belittles your ideas, or uses her words to tear you down instead of building you up, that's not playful banter. It's contempt dressed as humor. And once contempt sets in, the respect in the relationship is already broken. A woman who values you won't make you feel small with her words. Even when she disagrees or argues, she'll communicate with the underlying foundation of respect. But a woman who disrespects you with her speech reveals her true mindset. She doesn't see you as someone to admire. She sees you as someone to control or diminish. Disrespectful speech is more than just rude words. It's a reflection of her inner attitude toward you. Over time, constant verbal disrespect chips away at your confidence. You may find yourself doubting your worth, questioning your decisions, or holding back from expressing yourself just to avoid her criticism. That's how toxic dynamics form. And it doesn't always happen in private. Sometimes she'll do it in front of others, making jokes at your expense, embarrassing you, or undermining you publicly. When a woman uses her words to attack instead of uplift, she is showing you the level of regard she truly has for you, no matter how sweet her actions might appear in other moments. Number 9. Mistreats people close to you. How a woman treats the people closest to you is a direct reflection of how she truly respects you. A partner who genuinely values you will understand that your family, your friends, and the people you care about are extensions of your life. She may not always like them, she may not always agree with them, but she will treat them with a baseline of courtesy out of respect for you. But when a woman consistently disrespects, dismisses, or mistreats the people you value, she's not just insulting them, she's insulting you. This behavior often shows itself in subtle ways at first. Maybe she avoids interacting with your family, gives cold responses to your friends, or acts as if she's above the people in your circle. Over time, it can escalate into open criticism, rude remarks, or even attempts to create division between you and those who've stood by you long before she came into the picture. That's not just immaturity, it's manipulation. She wants to isolate you, to make herself the center of your world, cutting off the support systems that keep you balanced. A woman who mistreats the people close to you is signaling a dangerous truth. She doesn't respect your roots, your relationships, or the bonds that shaped who you are. Instead of embracing your world, she's trying to reshape it to fit her own comfort. And the more you tolerate it, the more she learns that she can disrespect the people you love without consequence, which ultimately means she can disrespect you without consequence. Number 10. Reveals true colors in conflict. The moments when things go wrong are the moments that strip away every mask. Conflict, stress, and disappointment are powerful truth tellers because they expose who someone really is when comfort is no longer protecting them. Pay close attention to how a woman reacts when the situation isn't perfect. Does she communicate with patience, or does she explode with anger and insults? Does she face the problem alongside you, or does she turn against you the moment tension rises? Conflict doesn't create her character, it reveals it. Many women can play the role of sweetness when everything is going their way. But when frustration hits, when disagreements arise, when circumstances demand resilience, her real nature surfaces. If she lashes out with cruelty, if she weaponizes silence, or if she brings up your vulnerabilities to cut you down, those are not temporary outbursts. Those are glimpses of the side she hides when things are easy. And that side will always come back when life tests the relationship again. What you see in conflict is the raw, unfiltered truth. If she resorts to manipulation, blame-shifting, or emotional withdrawal when problems arise, it shows she's not prepared to handle the realities of partnership. Anyone can enjoy the good times, but not everyone can endure the storms. The way she behaves when the mask slips is the clearest indicator of the future you can expect, because conflict doesn't lie. It reveals the foundation she's been standing on all along.